Okay.
So now
We'll do busted turkeys, spooked turkeys.
Good.
All right.
welcome back. I think this is going to be our final scenario for right now. You never know, we may come back a little bit later. Of course, we'll probably be dressed different.
Yeah, that's right. You never know.
But so this one is one that I've asked them to do because this will happen to a lot of people, especially newbies like myself, right? What happens? What do you do when you know you got busted and that turkey's hightailing it out of there? Then what do? Do you just pack it up and go home, or what?
No, like I told you, several scenarios ago, I'm an aggressive hunter, and I'm not an aggressive caller unless the turkey tells me I can be. But I move a lot, and I've busted a lot of turkeys. And what I mean by busted is they've seen me and they've taken off. The day's not over, right? Now, if that happens at 11:30 and you can only hunt till 12,
The day's over.
the day's pretty much over. But if this happened, a scenario.
Here, I'll give you one. As soon as you go in the morning, right? Maybe you got in there a little bit late, right? And you're trying to get set up just to try to understand where they're at, and boom, they see you right off the bat.
Perfect scenario, or you try to get you try to get close and
Right.
you bust them,
Right.
right? So turkeys are turkeys, and what I mean by that is they're prey. They've got eyes on the side of their head. They're always alert. They use their eyes. They're constantly seeing stuff that scares them, right?
Mm-hmm.
So don't beat yourself up and go, oh man, yeah, you're like, oh crap, I should have stayed put or whatever. But you got to remember that turkey probably gets scared a half a dozen times in a day's time. Now there's different types of scares, An old turkey, when he comes in, he's going to have that old head stretched out. He's getting elevated, and he's looking around. And if he sees something that ain't quite right, he's going to take them old wings and he's going to set them up on his back, and he's going to go, and he's going to turn and he's going to walk steady away from whatever he doesn't like. That's called a putt. And they make it, and out there they go. They fold them old wings up, they got their head up, and they just ease out of there. That's a spooked turkey. He saw something he didn't like. That turkey, I can hunt him again. I'm just going to give him some time to relax, go back to feeding. I'm going to move, right? Because he saw me, he saw something he didn't like. So he went off in that direction. I'm going to back out, and I'm going to go around and try to cut him off. And then I'm going to hunt him again. All right? A turkey that, maybe he's coming in to my right, and I got to move my shotgun, and he sees me, and he takes off running out of there. All right? Same scenario. He saw me. He got spooked. He went off in that direction. I'm gonna fuss a little bit and beat myself up a little bit because, man, he was right there and he saw me move and I spooked him. Again, he went off in that direction. I'm gonna give him some time. I need to take some time to calm down. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to back out. I'm going to try to think about where's that turkey going to go. Right? And then there's a third scenario. You spook that turkey and he takes off flying. right? This happens a lot in hilly and mountainous terrain. They take off running and poof, next thing you know, he glides and he flies out of sight. You know, that's a little bit tougher because that turkey took off flying and he went out of sight. So you're not sure where he went. Still not the end of the world because turkeys are going to do what turkeys do. He's going to land and he's out of harm's way. He's going to settle himself. He's going to start scratching, start feeding, and he's going to start to try to find hens again. Shoot, he might start gobbling, you know, an hour later or 2 hours later. So if you spook a turkey, don't give up.
So let me ask you this. So like with deer hunting, sometimes if you spooked a deer or, you know, got scared of deer or whatever, if you just sit, sometimes they'll circle back around.
Mm-hmm.
As long as you didn't, you know, continue to scare them, they'll come back around
Mm-hmm.
right where they were at. You give them enough time.
Yep.
Okay. Will turkeys do that?
They won't really necessarily come right back to that area. Now, in the fall of the year, they will. So let's do another scenario. So, like scenario 2, turkey gobbled going away from us. We knew he was going to that power line. So we made a move. We go down to that power line, and maybe it's a gobbler, and he's got 4 or 5 hens out there, and we roll out there aggressively, and we spook the hens and that gobbler, and they all go off flying in different directions. That's not necessarily a bad thing, because that gobbler had hens, and
No, he doesn't.
And now they all went off in different directions. So what's going to happen is they're going to try to get back together. So I'm going to sit right there and listen, and I guarantee they're probably going to start. You're probably going to start hearing some of those hens start yelping, and they're giving that locator call. Hey, over here I am. Hey, here I am. Where are you at? And they're going to try to get back together.
Okay.
So that's, you know, in the fall of the year, we bust up turkeys and we do a reassembly call. It's called a kiki run. You know, it's it's that reassembly call because they want to get back together. They're very social. Same thing in the spring. You bust up a couple gobblers with a couple hens, they're going to try to reassemble. That's actually an easier scenario in my mind. I think it's an easier scenario than you just spooked that one gobbler.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yep.
So
don't get too disheartened if you spook one. You know,
it's going to happen.
just go. It's like I said, it's all hunting, right?
Yep, it's going to happen.
I don't know of anybody that has perfect hunts all the time or any time.
That's right.
You know, so that's, we just got to listen to nature. We got to understand what's going on. We've got to try to think through some of these scenarios that Jason's shared with you. So you go, okay, what can we apply here? Okay, what will work here? Okay, we can't give you a scenario for every different situation that you're going to be in or every different land area that you're going to be hunting in. But you can take bits and pieces. If you notice some of the stuff he said, there's similarities.
Mm-hmm.
Get out there before daybreak. Plenty of time to listen to the world wake up. Try to do a locator. Try to find out where they're at. Try to get as close as you can without spooking them.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Depending on where you're at, it's going to determine the distance.
Yep.
Right? And then you want to try to get them, take the temperature, as you're
That's
saying.
right.
Okay? If they gobble a lot right back at you, you know he's hot and ready to go.
Yep.
If they're not, then you know he's not. If he's getting farther away, you know you're going to have to get up and move.
Yep.
So, you know, just take bits and pieces of what we got and then piece it together for your scenario where you're hunting.
and try different things.
Yeah.
Experiment, try different things. Just remember, if I can give one tip, 2 tips. 1, don't give up. Hunt till 12 o'clock if it's a half-day hunt. And less is more. Don't get call crazy. I mean, I run into guys. I've called in a half a dozen hunters in my career of hunting. You know, and I know it's a hunter, and it makes me really nervous because a lot of times, I mean, they're just cranking on that call. I mean, they're just cranking. You know, less is more. Take that turkey's temperature. Try to mimic the sounds of natural turkeys. And make it as realistic as you possibly can. You know, I'll rake in the leaves when I get that turkey. I know that turkey's coming. Instead of me risking, it's hard to not call to a turkey that you know that's coming. But, you know, instead of risking that, or I think that turkey's coming and he's close enough, I'll take my hand and I'll rake the leaves and make it sound like a turkey feeding, you know. And sometimes they'll come in like because now I sounded like a turkey, and now I'm making noise like a turkey scratching in the leaves feeding, and I mean they come in like they're supposed to.
So you've called in turkeys, you've called in other hunters. Have you ever called in coyotes or bobcats or?
I've had coyotes come in and bust up turkeys.
Okay.
All kinds of different scenarios.
But that calling advice that he said, that goes for any type of calling, whether you're turkey calling, deer, you know, using your deer calls, grunt tubes and all that stuff. Less is more.
It's all about calling at the right time.
Yeah.
Saying the right thing, and then I'm gonna put it harsh. Shut up when it's time to shut up.
Think about it this way: how many people really likes that guy or gal that is the entire time when you're out with friends, and you just have to sit there and listen to them? Okay, nobody likes that person, right? So same thing here. You're having a conversation.
Yep.
You're a turkey having another conversation with another turkey.
Yep.
So
anyway.
All right.
Thank you all very much. Like always, if you have comments or maybe you've run into a scenario before and you want to ask how we would handle that, please email us, let us know, and we'll get back to you.
So you can leave a comment on any one of these shows, and I would like for you to go ahead and subscribe and like the show. But if you want to contact us directly, you can contact us at 2guysintheoutdoors, all one word, at gmail.com.
Thank you.
Get out there and have some fun.
Keep it simple. Go hunting.